Hi, I'm Mamta. Today we'll be doing the first chapter for class 12 psychology. Now this chapter is variations in psychological attributes according to the textbook, but according to the new syllabus it is intelligence and aptitude. Now this chapter carries 9 marks. Today we are going to do 4 topics. First, assessment, then assessment methods, then attributes in general, and along with that we'll be defining intelligence and trying to touch upon various theories. Let's start with the basic concept. Now, when we talk about individuals and their differences, we try and understand the difference from the genetic point of view as well as from the situation. For instance, a particular child, if we label as a creative child, now that child is creative in most of the situations, but maybe in a certain situation where there's a strict person handling him, maybe his creativity goes for a loss. So this is where situation comes in, also apart from the genetic point of view. Let's talk about assessment. Now assessment is basically the measurement of psychological variables. We are trying to evaluate or measure different psychological variables through the use of certain methods. Assessment has 2 types, formal assessment and informal assessment. Formal assessment basically deals with a very systematic approach to measuring and data collecting. Informal assessment basically deals with a very casual approach, not really very systematic process. That is what informal talks about. Now we have 5 methods here. First method is interview. Now this method basically is a face-to-face interaction to judge the body language of a person. It's a very direct method and gets a very good data. This is a common method with all the other disciplines as well. Second is observation. Now again this method basically presumes that a very systematic step-by-step procedure is being followed where you are trying to understand and identify different people in a variety of settings. Third method is case study. Now this method is unique to psychology. A lot of clinicians or psychologists in their clinics try and understand the detailed histories of patients coming to them for identifying the different kinds of psychological illnesses. That is a case study which gives you very detailed data, but it takes a lot of time and effort. Of course, it uses multiple methods. Then we have the next method, which is a self-report method. Now this method also assumes that a person is reporting about himself or herself and giving a detailed description about his thoughts and feelings. That is about the different kinds of methods. We move on to psychological variables. Now the variables have different terms by which it is referred to. It can be domains, it can be characteristics, it can be dimensions, it can be traits. All these terms or attributes, all these terms are the same. Now it basically have 5 attributes under it. First is intelligence. Now intelligence definition given by David Wechsler, a very good, very comprehensive, a very complete definition. Now David Wechsler was a person who has done very good research on IQ testing. He has given a test which measures global IQ. So like that, his definition of intelligence is also global. And he says that it is the ability, global capacity to understand the world, deal with it, deal with the effective challenges and using different resources. So global capacity basically means that this ability is present within everybody and is required for all kinds of tasks. The only thing is the level can vary in different people. So this capacity is there to reason, to judge, to handle different kinds of situations. Second is personality. Personality basically refers to the fact that all of us have qualities which are stable, by and large stable across situations, across time. Now these characteristics or qualities make us unique. Third is interest. Now, interest as the term indicates, if I like to do something, if I'm interested in a particular subject, I will devote more time to it. If I like a particular teacher, I will definitely try and put in more effort in that subject. So, my liking and my preference, my choice for a particular activity. Next that we have is values. Values basically refer to the belief, any kind of ethical morality issues, political issue. All of us, when we open a Facebook account or an email ID, we are asked what values do we adhere to. So, that is the belief system that we have. And next topic that we have here is talking about the concept of intelligence. Now, let me ask you two questions here. If we say a particular child gets very good marks, do we not label him as intelligent? Is that not our notion of a child as intelligent if he scores good marks? Well, intelligence really is not about all marks. It can also be somebody who is average in marks, but he does very well later in life. He is very successful. So, therefore, let's now try and correlate marks and intelligence, and let's try and understand what intelligence is all about. Well, we have 5 concepts again here. We talk about a layman definition of intelligence, where we say that intelligence is anything, any problem solving capacity, any effective situation dealing capacity, observation capacity, analysis capacity. This is a general understanding of intelligence. We have the Oxford Dictionary here. Oxford Dictionary says the code word pluck. Now, this code word would help you remember the definition. It says the ability to perceive, the ability to learn, the ability to understand, and the ability to know. These are the 4 concepts which help you understand the Oxford Dictionary definition. Third definition is by Alfred Binet. Now, let me tell you a little about Alfred Binet. He was the first person who started working on intelligence testing. He was deputed by the French government in 1905 to try and segregate children with different kind of abilities, so that different classrooms could be formed based on the performance of children. So, what he did was he devised a test which could measure the mental age of the child, the age of the mind. So, this was Alfred Binet. Now, his definition you can remember by the code word Burj. All of you would have heard of the word Burj Khalifa, the tallest tower in Dubai. And Burj basically says Binet's concept of understanding, reasoning and judging. So, understand well, reason well and judge well. We move on to the next definition of David Wechsler. It's the global capacity to deal with different kind of challenges. That is about David Wechsler. Last definition is by Gardner and Sternberg. Now, this definition gives us the understanding that intelligence is not just about the statistical structure, it is also about how a person deals with different kinds of situations, adapts himself, modifies himself to different kinds of situations. That is the definition given by Gardner and Sternberg. Now, all these names that you've heard, these are psychologists who have given their definitions of intelligence, and they've also given their concepts about how can intelligence be assessed or tested. Let's move on to the last topic, which is various theories, theoretical approaches to understanding the concept of intelligence. Now, here we have 2 major approaches. First is the psychometric approach and the other is the information processing approach. We have 5 concepts under psychometric and we have 3 concepts under the information processing approach. Now, information processing, as the term indicates, basically includes how the information that I'm getting from the environment. My mind as a computer gets the information, the stimuli from the environment, it processes the data and that information goes out. So, input, processing and output, like a computer, that is our mind or memory. Now, under this approach, we have basically studying about the processes or the functions of intelligence. That is, what does intelligence do? Does it do problem solving? Does it do decision making? What are the functions it tries and adheres to? We have basically 2 approaches here. The first one, and a very important one from the exam point of view, which normally is asked for a 6 marker or a 4 marker. This is Sternberg's approach. Sternberg has given a triarchic approach. Robert Sternberg gave this approach, and this basically talks about 3 major components. He says that intelligence can be divided into 3 parts, 3 processes. The first one we call as analytical intelligence. We also call it as componential intelligence. This is required for various school related activities. So children who work for the school, who are studying in the school, they require this kind of intelligence. So children who score good marks, they definitely have a good analytical intelligence. Now this has 3 parts. First is the knowledge acquisition component, second is the meta component, and the third is known as the performance component. So for studying, you require the first, acquiring knowledge. Second, you hold on, process that, which we call as meta components. Meta means higher level cognitive abilities. So using your mind's abilities, you process that data, and then of course you write in the exam, that is the performance component. Second part, according to Sternberg, is known as, this aspect is basically contextual intelligence. Now contextual, also known as practical intelligence, which is what we call as street smartness. Children who may not be very good in studies, but they know how to handle their parents' business, that is known as street smartness. They know how to handle different kinds of people, they know how to handle different kind of situations. That is the third component. Last component, which talks about creativity, which we also call as experiential component, that is basically dealing with your past experiences, like we call it old wine in the new bottle. When we have any kind of remixes, that is basically we have a ground of creativity and we use that foundation and we add on our own ideas. That is the creative component. Suppose the car breaks down, a person from the past experience will try and understand what all might have gone wrong. That is about Sternberg's theory. Last part of it is known as the PASS model, PASS. Now this has 4 components under it. P refers to the processing component, then we have the planning component, then we have analyzing component and the processing component. So first we start with planning. Let's say, in fact when we talk about this PASS model, this was given by 3 researchers, J.P. Das, Kirby and Naglieri. These 3 people, it is a recent, very recent model, they have given this model, and it talks about, suppose you've been given an intimation for an exam, you will plan out for the exam, you will try and process that data for the exam, you will be very alert and attentive for the exam, you will be very, when the teacher tells you that this topic is going to come for the exam, you will be at 100% concentration, you will be having high energy, you will be alert to it, that is the 2 A's that we have. You will plan out, how can I prepare, what data do I have, how much time do I have, what help can I get, and then you will process it. Process means 2 kinds of processing. A child, when you learn any kind of multiplication table, a child who can do step by step is known as successive processing. Simultaneous will be when I am comparing 6 options and trying to figure out the answer. And last aspect of this is CAS, Cognitive Assessment System. CAS was a structure developed, a test developed by these 3 people for the age 5 to 18 years, and this has both verbal and non-verbal component in trying to identify what kind of problem children are facing in the school and how to remedy it. So to summarize, today we discussed the concept of assessment, the meaning and its various methods, 5 methods we did. We also talked about what are the attributes and how to measure different attributes, what are the different kinds of attributes, again 5 in number. Then we talked about the major concept of intelligence, 5 definitions of intelligence. We moved on to the last topic, which is the different kinds of theories, and we did information processing theory, where we had Sternberg's triarchic model, and we moved on to the PASS model, and under that we had the CAS system. Thank you.